Hello there, band students. We're going to go over some piano notes here using some online resources. Hopefully at the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the notes on a piano keyboard. And so if you have a smartphone or a laptop or even a piano at home, if you find an app for that, or if you want to go play the piano, this should help you get a better idea of what buttons are what. All right, so I'm going to start a share screen on here, and you should be able to see what I see in just a moment. There we go. All right, I'm online. This is a resource called Virtual Piano from recursivearts.com, so that's pretty neat. I'm going to make sure that you have a link to this on Canvas. That way, if you want to visit this website later on and play around with it, you can. But essentially, what you see here is a piano keyboard. And you can notice, if you follow my mouse, there are keys on the bottom. We call those the natural notes, or some people refer to them as the white keys. And then on the top row here, we have the accidental notes, or some people call those the black keys because of their color. On here, what we want to do is figure out what to call each key. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're looking at the whole piano and you're like, there's so many. How can you name them all? There's only really 12 names that we use. After the 12 names, it starts repeating itself in what we call an octave. But anyways, let's start with what everyone starts with. Look up here in the middle there, it says C. We're gonna do C there. So to find a C on the piano, what you would do is you would find a group of 2 of the accidentals, like so, and then you go down to the left and you get a C, right where my mouse is there. Here's what it sounds like. I don't think I turned the computer audio on. 1 second. I'm gonna go turn the computer audio on. I know you have to look at my face for just a moment. All right, share computer sound. Let's try that again. Here is what C sounds like. So you find your group of 2, go down to the left, and now you have a C, all right? Now, using our big brains here, the person that came up with the note names for the piano knew the alphabet. So if we sing our alphabet, A, B, C is the 3rd note in the alphabet. If I went up to the next letter, D, right? We're gonna go just 1 key to the right, and that's gonna be a D. So if I click this key right here in between the 2 accidentals, now it says it's on D, and the process continues. So check it out. We go another one up, get an E, another one gives us an F, another one's a G. Now here's the tricky part. After G, the alphabet starts over, all right? Musicians only know their alphabet up to G. There is no H. So when we get to G, we're on right there, that note, the very next note is gonna be A, all right? So the next one's gonna be A, and it just starts all over again. So let's talk about how to find an A. Looks like that key got stuck. I'm gonna hit the refresh button. All right, good. Now's your chance to test yourself. Can you find a C before I find a C with my mouse? Ready? All right, here I go. Let's see if you're right. I'm moving the mouse. Right there is C. Now, we were talking about A. So if this was C and we do our alphabet backward, we start going to the left on the keyboard, that's going to bring us down in the letters till we get to A. So if I go to the left right here, this one's going to be B. And then the letter right before B is A. All right, so that's A right there. Let's find A. So you find a group of 3 accidentals, and then it's in between the top 2. That's A, okay? Now, earlier we found A over on this side of the keyboard, there. They are both called A because, like I said, the alphabet starts over, and you can even hear they sound the same. Check this out. I press the low A, press the high A, back to the low A. They have a very similar sound. That's because they're the same note. You'll notice that with all the notes that have the same name, we call them an octave. And we call it an octave because they're 8 notes apart, kind of like an octopus has 8 arms, okay? So if I go up a note from A to B, right there, an octave away from that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is another B. So there's 2 B's there. Notice they have the same relative position to the three accidentals there, okay? So those are B's. And then C's, that's the first note we learned. Those are C's, all right? So we've learned the note names for the natural notes. You can go on this piano and you can name every single one of them, starting on the low. Starts with C, F, G, A, B, C. Now we're back to C and we keep going, right? D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and it just keeps on going on and on and on and on. That's all the natural notes, or as we said earlier, all the white keys on the piano. The ones on the top row, all the black keys, are the accidental notes. What makes them accidental is they actually don't have a name of their own. They call themselves a name from one of the other ones on the bottom. So, for example, this note right here, this black key, is C sharp, all right? So we didn't say it's its own name, you know, we didn't say it's called H, Q, O, N, anything like that. This is C sharp. And so you just go up to there. Now let's talk sharp and flat, all right? So if you make something sharp in music, that means we're raising it up, okay? So if you look on the keyboard where my mouse is, we're on C. If I sharpen it, it goes up to the next note. Remember, up on the piano is going to be toward the right, and down on the piano is going to be toward the left, okay? So C sharp, it's going up slightly to the right. That's C sharp. Let's do another one. We said this note's called D. If I was looking for D sharp, I would go up and to the right just a little bit. And that one's called D sharp, okay? So now we know what to call the accidental notes. We just call them something sharp, right? It's kind of like if you were asking, you know, where's that place in downtown? You would say it's in North Wilkesboro, right? So you go north. It's kind of like that, you know. This is C sharp or D sharp. Let's do another one. Over here on this group of three, it's near F, so we could call it F sharp. All right. This one's near G, we could call it G sharp. And then there's one more we haven't talked about. This is A. If we sharpen it, we can call that note A sharp. Now we've talked nothing but sharps. There's another term called flat. So when you sharpen something, you raise it up, you bring it to a point, right? When we flatten something, now we're going down. So this note we just clicked right there, we called it A sharp because it's higher than A. It has another name. I could also call it B flat, because look at this. This note right here is B. If I flatten B, it could be B flat. Now it doesn't say that. It doesn't say B flat there in the display, but it is another name that you could give it. So if North Wilkesboro is its own town, we could say that we're south of North Wilkesboro, right? Just kind of like on the keyboard here, this is B flat because it's flatter than B. Let's do another one. The mouse is over E right now. Let's double check. So that's E there. If I go down from E, I could say that this note is E flat. So this black note right here would be E flat. Now it's calling it D sharp, but it's not wrong either. It's also a D sharp. So all of the accidental notes could have two different names. It's up to you to decide which one to call it. And as we get further in music class, we're going to find out that in band class, we usually call things flat. Whereas in an orchestra class, we would usually call things sharp. All right, that's my introduction to piano notes. If you got confused, don't worry, there's tons of tools to help you figure it out, and you can come back and play with this website. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you at the next lesson.